smashed out scotch and a beer this morning, and I'm hoping to go camping this weekend with the family because I don't know how much time I'm going to have to actually go camping. But now I'm going to be finishing, or starting the rest of the fiberglass repair process. This is going to be part 2 of that, since it took me so long yesterday to get all the body pieces prepped. But basically, what we need to do next is take this painter's tape and tape all the outsides of these holes that I have created everywhere so that we can recreate those lines with fiberglass. And that's going to be kind of difficult because I had to take a lot of material off. So we'll see how it goes. Got pretty much everything taped up all around. Followed the body lines as close as I could. Obviously, it's definitely going to need some fixing and sanding afterwards. But straight panels are easy-ish. Easier, I guess I should say. Now it's time to mix the fiberglass repair kit up and start laying it down. Now here's something that's super American. It's got instructions and it has a bunch of different numbers on there or ways to mix. The most usable one for me is going to be the 10 drops of hardener to 1 ounce of resin. Then it comes with this lid that has no markings on it. There's no markings on this. So what I'm going to do is pour 4 ounces of liquid into this silver thing. And then I'll mark where it is. And then that'll be my 4 ounces. So I will need 40 drops of the hardener. And it says to mix little bits at a time. So 4 ounces at a time is what I'm going to do. And here we go. So that second line down is 4 ounces. And we're going to go ahead and get our pour on. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't do that. So before you get your pour on, Dustin recommended cutting your fiberglass into the shapes that it needs to be, and then putting some tape down somewhere where you're working so that you can dip it in there and then lay it and stipple it with the brushes, which don't come with the kit. Those are Harbor Freight. So now I've got most of these, well, besides the triangle one, most of these cut to the shapes, and that gets the base in, and then you start layering over the top of that and filling in all the gaps. Yeah. Oh, forgot that one. Okay, and so I mixed a batch, and A, my phone fell in where I was time-lapsing from. B, cut multiple strips, because once you get the gloves dirty, you can't touch anything else. So you need to have your strips completely ready, and I absolutely was not ready. I got all of them on the bumper. I'm going to have to mix another batch, had to dump out the rest. But everything's on there. Now I just need to do layer by layer, but I didn't have them cut out, so I couldn't do them. So that's what I'm going to do now, is cut bigger strips to go over all the rest of this stuff. Live and learn. Another pro tip is you're going to lose your brushes, so buy multiples of the cheap small brushes, because now all I have left is these two bigger ones, and they don't fit in that thing very well. So got 2 layers on each of these, except for that one. I ran out of material. And I got a pretty big air bubble right there. But otherwise, I think it's okay, question mark. I don't actually know. I won't know until it dries and peel them off. But now that this is basically done, I do need to do another layer on that one. Then it's moving on to the rest of this stuff. Yeesh. Okay, so got dual layers on pretty much everything. Threw that back on to try to get it to straighten itself out, but it is crooked AF. But everything is pretty much patched up, except for this. I don't have enough hardener. I got plenty of resin, but for some reason they give you nothing in regards to hardener, so I'm gonna have to wait on that one. I need to take the whole thing off anyway, because there's 0 chance of me doing that without it being flat like these ones were. Got the front done. Yeah, it's not too bad. I started at 9 and it is actually, and it's not too bad. I started at 10:30ish and it's now 3. And that included me messing up, having to take gloves off, having to remix batches. But hopefully I didn't screw it up too bad, and if I did, I'm sorry in advance, Will. But it's better than it was, hopefully. And hopefully it saved them a little bit of work, or maybe I just made them a bunch more. Still yet to be determined. It's also pretty crazy to me, like how quickly this stuff is hard. So that's the triangle. It's going to have the new Zeus fitting right there, but that's pretty crazy. Didn't get deep enough into that pocket, but that's what the body filler's for. But otherwise, it's really smooth across there. Pretty good technique, I'd say. Cool. So closer inspection on my work. It's not bad. There's definitely some air bubbles, so I definitely didn't push it enough, but I was also learning as I was going and had to rush and made some mistakes. But I mean, otherwise it's a pretty solid foundation to sand and fill. That one's got a little air pocket in it too. But they're pretty much all good to go all the way through. Over here. Overall, not a horrible experience. It smells bad. You get more fiberglass everywhere. Makes a pretty big mess. And like everything else to do with cars, the prep is the key. Make sure you got your extra pieces cut out. Make sure that you have extra gloves, because I had to change out gloves like 6 times. Make sure you have extra brushes. And make sure that all the air bubbles are gone, so you don't end up with stuff like that. But for a first attempt, I think that's pretty good. It definitely was not the way I did it in the past. The way I did it in the past didn't work, and it looked horrible, and it just made me frustrated. So definitely glad that I saw that Dustin Miles video, because it made a world of difference. And then I'm going to bring it over to Will, and we're going to film what the rest of this is going to take next week. But I think that's going to be it for today's video. This was just part 2 of the fiberglass repairs on the old S13. Almost back to being whole for the 3rd time. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed Scotch and a Beer, and I will see you next week. It's weekend time. Cars and coffee with my little dude. You can say one thing about Albuquerque. It's a horrible place to live, but we got a good car scene. I'll tell you that much.
This car.
Whose car is this?
Dada's!
Plus, I just really enjoy driving this car. This is the 22B clone, and it's got air conditioning and heaters and power locks and power windows. Not so much power mirrors, but it's just a lot of fun to drive around.